Hi, I'm Lisa Jane, and I'd love to have a chat to you about your natural state. And you may be feeling more and more that there's a bit of a lightness of being that's arriving for you, almost like you get a sense of it every now and you can feel it coming in. And then maybe your mind kicks in and reminds you of things that aren't so good in your life that you need to take care of or that you need to be concerned about. However, it shows up for you. I'd love to just have this little moment to share with you a few concepts that I have been thinking about lately. Firstly, I know that a lot of people have been coming to me lately and sharing that they don't know who they are. They're feeling quite lost and quite hopeless. Like, hopeless was a big word. I feel hopeless. I don't know who I am anymore. I used to be a person that did this, this, and this, but now I just don't know who I am. And I would just like to say to you, like, isn't that amazing? Like, where you are right now is this point of pure potential that you've actually stopped long enough to go, there's something missing and I don't know what it is, but I'm actually going to have a bit of a look and find out what that is, because the something missing can drive us constantly to be reaching out for new relationships or new things or more money or more degrees or more meditations or more breath work, whatever it is that we do to feel that feeling of discomfort that something's not quite right inside of us. That feeling actually is the urge, the prompt of your natural state. It's like this natural home within you that's like, hey, come home. Hey, come in and actually reconnect with your true nature. And the thing about your true nature, which I've noticed has perhaps posed a problem for you because it posed a lot of problem for me, is that my mind was constantly telling me that I had to do more or learn more or be more in order to get that feeling, in order to reach that place. But that actually is the opposite of what needs to happen. What I've noticed is that I actually need to let go of things. I need to let go of who I think I am. I need to let go of the thoughts. I need to let go of the patterns. I need to let go of the behaviors. And more, I start to feel this natural state of ease, like just, like when you look at nature, how easy it is, how much flow there is. It's like that is within us. We do have the capacity to live like that. And I'm not just saying that because I've read it somewhere or I've learnt it or, that's the thing, right? We learn all this stuff, but actually living it, the experience of something, I'm speaking to you from the experience of that. And me speaking from the experience of that was not something that I got from a textbook. It's something that I know to be true. I've done a lot of different things, and just like I'm sure that you have, like there's so much opportunity now to heal, to go and release trauma, to learn different ways of being. Like, there's so much. And I'd love to suggest that the next stage of human evolution, and what I feel, like innately is coming, is this state where we actually stop looking outside of ourselves. We actually stop projecting out what it is that we don't have and looking for what it is we think we do want. And we start really coming in to just being in our natural state and working from that place. So I'm in my relations from my natural state of presence. I go to work from my natural state of wholeness. I parent my children from this natural state of harmony and ease. So can you imagine how your life might change if you were operating from those foundations every day? Yes, the biggest challenge is that we have habitually lived in a certain way, especially in our relationships. We have these relationships that habitually run these patterns and these dynamics. And we use these words and we have these thoughts that we affirm all the time about ourselves. And being able to let all of that go and actually step into this very deep presence of who I am right now can seem a little bit difficult. And it might be because it's familiar, right? But it's not impossible. And in fact, just doing a little bit every day and just really stepping into that every day, it actually happens. And I think right now, well, let me ask you this. Has it worked for you in the past? Has all the efforts that you put in, has all the things that you've tried so hard to do, to change, to make yourself feel satisfied, has it worked? And if you're a believer in, I don't know, law of attraction and creative, your power as a conscious creator, if you're a big believer in flow, emotional flow or life flow, all of those things, and you still feel like totally dysregulated or alone or hopeless, or if you still have all those feelings, then what is it that you're not letting go of? What is it that you're actually wanting to keep holding on to? Because maybe it feels safe, or maybe there's some unconscious belief happening underneath it that keeps you holding on. So it can be a little bit scary, I think, when we start to live naturally, because we're very programmed to think that we have to do something. We're very programmed to think that we have to control it, we have to make things happen. However, I've discovered, and I can honestly say, this is, not a walk in the park. It's not a walk in the park trying to let go of all your conditioned behavior and your reaction. It absolutely isn't. But I do know that every single time I have been determined to let go of what's going on in that moment and to see a higher potential, it's almost like all of the energy and the tightness and the pain of what's happening, when I lean into it and I work with it, it's almost like I can move through it, and then I have more energy. It's like it opens up. It's almost like, and I wonder if this is what they used to refer to as alchemy. So you take in that moment of pain and hurt, and you actually transform it emotionally into a moment where you're releasing potential energy, and you're creating a consciousness of harmony and insight and awareness and wisdom, which then you go and you apply that to your life. And you don't go back and repeat those patterns. You don't keep putting yourself in a position to be hurt. So I guess today what I wanted to share with you is just consider, or maybe actively contemplate as you go about your day, what sort of foundations is your life based on? Is it based on beliefs, having to be something, having to show up as something, needing to do something in order to be loved or accepted? Do you watch yourself in your relationships stay mute, like you really want to speak but you can't find your voice? Do you feel like trapped? Like I used to feel this really incredible sense of like trapped, and I just used to want to run away. Do you feel frustrated, powerless? Like I know as a mum, like those feelings used to be a part of my like everyday reality, like feelings of powerlessness. Like I can't control this chaos that exists around me, right? And like, oh, if only back then I knew what I know now. Like, oh, anyway, that's life, right? That's how I came to this point. So I just want to invite you just to put your attention there, actually, because your conscious awareness, like, what is my natural state? How would that feel if I didn't have to try to be something more than what I am? How would it feel if I could just show up as me? How would it feel if I didn't have to put on a mask? Like, oh, for me, whew, that just feels so light. And then what I've noticed happens when I get to that place where I know what it feels like to be me. I know a process of taking myself out of the reaction of my identity and all those things that can make me feel totally dysregulated. So using my practice, step back into my natural state. And what happens is I can actually get excited about life. And I wanted to just let you know the way I see it, right? You know, when you're doing something like really fun. Like say you and your friends are playing with cards or tarot cards or something like that. Something that's, like it's like the potential of finding out something about yourself that you don't know. But you're sitting there and you're waiting, like you're really curious, like what is the next card going to be, or what are they going to tell me, or what am I going to, even like if you spinning one of those wheels where you might win a prize, it's like there's this feeling of anticipation and you just don't know, like something good's going to happen, but you don't know what, and you're in this state of like it's okay. I'm in uncertainty, but I'm actually a little bit excited and hopeful within this uncertainty because I can feel that I'm really supported. I can feel really strong in my center, like I'm very present, and I can feel this. Now I'm going to say I can feel this flow around me, and I like to call this the force of nature that pumps my heart and breathes my breath and grows the trees. This intelligence that works with me, and I'm learning how to trust that all the time, and I'm learning how to believe in that, so I can just let go, and I can actually feel the lightness of being. I can actually feel light. I can feel playful. I can enjoy my life. I'm not so serious. I'm not ruminating, feeling anxious and then ruminating about feeling anxious and how I shouldn't feel anxious and how I want to stop feeling anxious and I don't know why I'm feeling anxious. Really? It's no wonder we all feel like so totally lost and confused and whatever. But all of that, come back to your natural state. Just be, and when something comes up that sort of prods you, you feel like you need to go and do something that maybe you don't feel like you really want to do, just stop for a minute. Have a look what the alternatives are. What else could I do? How could I speak this? How could I be open about this? And they're skills. Like we do have to learn, I believe, some new skills. We need to learn how to actually talk to people from a non-reactive state. And that requires a different words, actually, and a different approach. Holding on to connection, holding on to harmony in our mind. Like we have the capacity to actually create this world that we want, this solution, and do whatever's happening now. But we've already put that solution into play, and we just keep reaching for that all the time and keep living our natural state. So I'm really grateful that you joined me today, because I just felt like I wanted to share all that stuff. Sending you love for a fabulous day or night, whatever time it is for you. If you'd like to know more about me, you can visit my website. There are plenty of offerings there for you. Reach out, say hi, and subscribe. Sending you love.